Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is xAnacristinaaa. If you're new, welcome, which we're all new because we just started this, so everyone welcome. Welcome to my channel. I did want to go ahead and start a series today. Today we are starting a series, and that series is going to be my bridal series. The look that I'm wearing today is a recreation of what I wore in my engagement pictures. I'll go ahead and post a picture right now. I did receive a lot of requests to recreate this look, so figured why don't we start a bridal series. I haven't decided yet if I want to call it Becoming Mrs. Velez or bridal series. And in this series I do want to go ahead and include not only things like this where it's recreating my engagement pictures, maybe even my bridal shower, a sexy smoky eye for the bachelorette, or maybe a few vlogs here and there in regards to my experience and my journey. I have been engaged for the last 6 months and we have 6 months to go. We get married in October. I don't plan to ever do this again, just one time, this time, and with one man and that man only. I am ready to create this look for you. So if you guys are interested in watching how I created this look, then just keep on watching. All right guys, so let's just go ahead and get started. I'm sorry if I do a lot, that my throat is a little bit tight. So it's been tight for a few days, so I'm working through this cold, I guess. But I wanted to go ahead and use all of the exact same products that I used a few days ago for my engagement shoot. So I'm gonna go ahead and use all of the products that I did use on that day. So let's go ahead and tie my hair up for a moment. We are starting off, as we always do, by moisturizing our skin, and I'm using again the MAC Studio Moisture Cream. Apparently it wasn't recording to start off, but now that we are, we're gonna go ahead and jump into our primer. We are using the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Base Visage. This primer creates a barrier between your skin and your makeup, and it fills in fine lines and pores. Alright guys, now that we've primed our skin, we want to go ahead and jump into foundation. I'm going to be taking pictures today. We want to make sure that we're using a foundation that is first full coverage, and not only that, but it photographs beautifully. So we're going to go ahead and use my favorite cocktail at the time, which to be honest with you, this foundation alone is my absolute favorite, but this foundation mixed with another foundation, which in most of my videos you're going to be able to see that I mix this foundation with just about everything. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, and I use the color Golden Beige, and I'm mixing that today with the Girl Pro Matte foundation as well. And this color is beige as well. We're gonna go ahead and dot it all over our face. So another reason why I'm using this two foundation combination is because these both foundations are extremely matte, and especially since we're going to be taking pictures today, we want to make sure that whether we're hot while taking pictures, the humidity, the weather. I live in Florida, so you obviously know that it's extremely hot, let alone recently since there's been a lot of rain. And specifically on that day, there was a lot of rain, which came completely unexpected from one moment to the next. So I'm actually really glad that I did wear this foundation, because guaranteed my foundation was to the T all the way to the end, let alone hours after. And this foundation, not only is it full coverage, it's full-blown matte, but it photographs beautifully separately and together. So next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is jump into our eyebrows. Today I'm gonna be using the MAC Fluidline Brow Gel Cream in Deep Dark Brunette. I am applying this with a MAC 308 brush. The glory of cleaning up the eyebrows is that when one looks awesome, at least somewhat awesome, and one looks fucked up, we have the option and the capability of cleaning up and making it perfect. So we are using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the color Light Neutral with a flat synthetic brush, which is gonna allow us to create that very straight line when cleaning our eyebrow. Next, we are going with a synthetic brush. This one's from Morphe, doesn't have a number on it. And now we're gonna blend away that concealer. Eyebrows are done, we're gonna go ahead and go back in with that synthetic brush or the one that we used to blend out. And we're gonna prime our lids with the remaining concealer. Eyes, we are gonna go ahead and use the Anastasia and Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. This is a beautiful, oh, look at it, I already got it hella dirty. I absolutely love this palette. I've used it a quadrillion times and it has the most stunning eyeshadow colors possibly known to mankind, seriously. I'm gonna be using a MAC 224 brush, which is a fluffy blending brush. And we're gonna go ahead and start off by jumping into orange soda, and we're gonna be placing this right in the crease. I feel like if there's any color that I'm gonna hit pan on in this palette first, it's definitely gonna be this orange soda color. And we are blowing this transition color fully out because this is just one of the many colors that we're putting on. Next, with a MAC 217 brush, we are jumping into that burnt orange. We're gonna be going back and forth between these two colors. In this color, Pretty Sky High, into the transition shade, but it's because I wanna make it seem as if it's one color being diffused out. And a little bit later on when we do our cut crease, since we are gonna go ahead and bring our cut crease a lot higher, we wanna make sure that these colors are still peeking through. I'm back in with that 224 to diffuse those two colors together with no additional product. With that same brush, we are going into Sienna like we mentioned earlier, and we're gonna go ahead and concentrate that right into the crease. Now that we have all those transition colors, now we're gonna go ahead and start working on our outer crease. We are using a Morphe 321 brush, which is a smaller, more dense, fluffy brush, and we are jumping into that color Mulberry. And we're putting that right in our outer crease. And we wanna make sure that we're blowing out this color in the outer crease. And this is another reason why I haven't done my concealer just yet, because if there's any fallout specifically with darker colors, I can just go ahead and wipe it away and clean it off with my concealer. And I'm just packing it on and blending it in. And just putting that in my outer corner, but still blowing it out. All right, so we've arrived at my favorite part of all time, which is we're gonna go ahead and cut the crease. Now, again, jumping in back to that Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I'm gonna go ahead and apply it with a Morphe lip brush. It doesn't have a number, but it looks like this. It is just a very small synthetic brush. Since it's technically meant for applying lip color, it's very smooth and it glides right on. So I'm grabbing a little bit of that concealer. Go ahead and show you guys a little trick that I learned, and be patient when doing this piece of your makeup, just because sometimes you can become frustrated, but I promise you that when you apply it here and it gets a little bit on your eyelashes and you look up, one, this part looks super creepy, so you know, I'm warning you now, but if a little bit gets on your eyelashes and it transfers up into your transition, don't worry about that. Seriously, that part could just be blended away without a problem. So we're grabbing a tiny bit from your hand. We're gonna be applying it right there, and then we're gonna be looking up and sideways. And as you guys can see, let me do it just a tiny bit more. I guess I needed to do it just a tiny bit more in the entrance part. Left, right. See, this is the part that I mentioned that if it gets a little bit on your crease, then don't worry about it because that part could just be blended away. And we are bringing our crease a little bit higher than normal, which is really gonna open up that eye. We're gonna go ahead and grab that brush that we used earlier to prime our eyes, and we're just gonna buff out the edges, bringing them in more than out. Now, this is the part where it's like, all right, get rid of that line, not a problem. We're gonna go back in with that 224 brush. And diffuse it as if it never even happened. You guys imagine if I didn't cut my crease, I would have that baby space to put in on my lid color. Once I learned the technique of cutting my crease, I never went back. I'm gonna go ahead and blend in that mulberry color back into our crease so that there's a better transition. And this part really allows that outer corner to really pop as well. Right, so time for the lid. We are jumping into this absolutely stunning color. It's probably one of my favorite shades. I'm lying. Just about all these shades are probably one of my favorites. We're gonna be jumping into this glistening color right here, which is more of a champagne gold, which is absolutely beautiful. We'll be grabbing a MAC 239 brush, which is a flat shader brush. You can use any flat shader brush that you may have. And we're grabbing that color, and we are gonna go ahead and wet it with a little bit of Fix Plus. Which is again that blending brush, and we're transitioning those two shades again together. This is actually the fun part because now technically we're done with the soft tan palette and we are jumping into the Morphe and Jacklyn Hill palette. Love this palette, and specifically for this color right here. So I absolutely love this color right here. It is called Beam, and that's for my inner tear duct. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the 239 brush, and on the other side, with a little bit of Fix Plus, we are putting it in our inner tear duct. And this is really gonna make the eyes pop. And in addition to that, when we're there, we are also somewhat bringing it up right here into the top of our crease. Just like that. At this point, we can technically stop here just because technically this is all the colors that I primarily used, but on that specific day, I actually used one more product, which is the MAC Pigment, the color Reflex Pearl, which is so absolutely beautiful. And we're just gonna go ahead and open it and use whatever is on the lid. Like seriously, this is the most beautiful pigment. I bought it specifically to try on looks for my wedding. Or going back in with that shader brush and picking whatever is left on the cap, and remember your brush is still wet from the colors that we had previously, and then we're just gonna go ahead and apply it on the lid. For the most part, our eyes are complete. We'll come back and add on eyeliner and lashes later. The foundation has been sitting on my face for a good 30 minutes now. I do want to go in with a more moisturizing concealer first, so I'm gonna jump into the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer in the color Neutralizer. And does this feel good? Oh my god. One, this color is very brightening, but this concealer is also very hydrating. On top of that, we are gonna go ahead and use the Tarte concealer as well, since you can never go wrong and you trust it with your heart, so. And we're just putting that right at the middle. Back in with that L'Oreal sponge, we are gonna go ahead and wet the tip just a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and set it with our Coty Airspun Loose face powder. We're gonna press that powder in. With a fluffy brush and that same powder, we set our face. Right, now that the face is set, we are gonna go ahead and jump into contouring. We're gonna go ahead and use the Shade and Light palette. And as always, we're gonna jump into that Shadow Play color, which is that more bronzy, orangey tone. Since we're gonna be in a photo shoot today, we wanna make sure that our contour is very defined and structured. So we are gonna be using a slanted contour brush. This is the MAC 138 or 168, I don't know. A MAC 168 brush. Now we're going into this more azure color called Sombre, and just using the tip of the brush, we're gonna go dip right into it. This one we're gonna go ahead and contour our face more than just bronze. We are using the MAC shade in Springsheen. I am ready to cut these cheeks. Going back into that Coty Airspun and grabbing that loose powder, back into that soft sand palette and going to burnt orange. I feel like doing this step makes me blind. We are grabbing a small shader brush and we're grabbing that mulberry color. I'm gonna put that right under really, really tight, tying it to the outside shadow. Now we are gonna go ahead and do our liner. This is the Tarte Sex Kitten eyeliner. I absolutely love this. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Butter London Stroke of Wow Volumizing Mascara. And next, we are using the Eylure Cosmetics Eyelash Trio. I'm using these lashes right here. These are the Glamour by Eylure. And the reason that I went ahead and picked these lashes is because, as you see, they're very wispy and very full, but yet they're not gonna cover all of the eyeshadow and all of the hard work that we did. Looking crazy. All right, so while my eyelashes dry, we're gonna go ahead and dust off all that extra powder that's been sitting on my face for a while now. We're going in with some Fix Plus. That probably has to be like my absolute favorite step in my entire makeup routine. We're gonna go in with the MAC Extended Lash Play Mascara by MAC. We're gonna go into our NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in the color Brunette. I want my eyes to look really, really bright. So instead of going with a white eyeliner or the nude one that I used in my last video, I am using the Highbrow by Benefit. It's a product that looks just like this. It's actually intended for you to clean up your eyebrows and make them look really, really highlighted. But instead, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my waterline to really brighten my eyes. All right, guys, now that the face is complete and so are the eyes, today we're actually not doing highlighter. And the reason so is because speaking to my photographer, he told me to not wear lip gloss. He said that during photography and capturing the pictures, the sun seems to like catch onto the gloss, or you know, just distort the lips a little bit because it catches the light on the gloss. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is skip anything that's technically shiny, aside obviously from what we already have on our eyes. But I felt that we needed this kind of look in our eyes so that our eyes could really pop through camera. But we are gonna go ahead and proceed to the lips and to our final step. This is the Colourpop Lippie Pencil in the color Shy. Then we are finishing off the lips with the MAC color in Burnt Spice. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you guys are alerted as to when I post a new video. And don't forget to comment what other videos you guys want to see next, and of course in the bridal series what other looks you guys want to see as well. So I will see you guys next time.